All right, good evening, everyone. My name is Chris Tebow. I'm the chair of the New England Conservative Coalition. We're going to go ahead and get this meeting started. I'd like to make a motion to establish quorum.
I second.
All in favor say aye. Aye. All right, thank you. So, first on the agenda today, I would like to congratulate again Aaliyah as our on her new position within the organization as our vice chair of the coalition. So, congratulations, welcome
Yeah,
to
thank
your new
you.
role. So, I hate talking, so now I'm gonna make you talk now.
Oh,
So
I don't like
please,
talking either, but yeah, I'm just excited for the new position and what it will bring me. So honestly, I'm kind of nervous though because I know it's more responsibility, but I'm ready. So
well, with more responsibility comes more fun. So hopefully, not
sure,
too
that's the
too much.
same.
Yeah, really. Well, it's nice because now I can have you make public statements and I don't have to do it because I hate doing it sometimes.
Oh
Um, but all right, so welcome. Basically, what happened is we had our previous vice chair step down, and she is now taking over. That was Kayla. She stepped down as our vice chair and she moved into a chapter representative role for our Self Shore group. Also, we have Ashley Sullivan on the group who is going to be taking over our North Shore chapter. We've been planning this out for a couple months. We've been trying to get people together. We do have a meeting on August 20th at 7 o'clock. You can find more information on our official Facebook page and on our website for the location, more details, what's going to be going on during that meeting. And the second thing we have on our agenda today is we did appoint Gavin as our treasurer for the coalition. Renee was going to be the treasurer, but that just didn't. She kind of liked her role previously, but we still kind of switched a couple things around. So Gavin is our main treasurer. Our assistant treasurer is still Antonio. We all know we've kind of switched treasurers a bit, but Gavin is our permanent addition to our executive committee as our treasurer. So Gavin, take it away.
Yeah,
Yeah,
thank you guys.
Gavin.
Woo!
I'm super excited to be in this role. Hoping to just keep keep track of, manage, and facilitate any spending that may come through the coalition, in or out. So yeah, I'm excited to be in this new role. It was a coalition for a few months now, so I think this is the right projection of next steps. So I'm excited to get started. Thanks for the opportunity, guys.
So happy to work with you as always. It's always a pleasure to work with Gavin. He's great. We are going to go back a little bit because I don't have these on the agenda, but we do need to go over them. I would like to make a motion to accept the secretary's report, which was emailed to all of us. If you don't have it, just re-review it. Our last meeting was like 15 minutes. We didn't really go over too much, so um, let's just accept that. So I'm going to make a motion to accept that and just get that on the books.
I second.
All in favor say aye. Aye. All right, cool. And then I'm going to turn to Gavin, and it's okay that I know this is like your first treasurer's report. Usually we would have Antonio kind of show you how to do it. So I'm going to let you give it a whirl on the treasurer's report, just kind of go over how much money we have in the bank and then our expenditures. So.
Hey everyone, once again, I'm Gavin, the treasurer of the New England Conservative Coalition. And as of today, August 6th of 2025, at 7 p.m. or 7:20 roughly, we currently have $512.07 in our Political Action Committee checking account. And our expenditures for this month or so far have been a banner at $47.96, flyers for $24.43, and then some promotional shirts for the coalition at $29.48. And that concludes the treasurer's report.
All right, I'd like to make a motion to accept the treasurer's report for the coalition.
I second.
All in favor say aye. Aye. All right, that is accepted as our treasurer's report. Great job. He's a natural already at our treasurer's report. So that is very, very good. I'm so glad because I hate anything treasury.
My phone fell. Sorry.
No, you're good. Whenever I get the emails from OCPF, again, if you want to check out all of our contributions, we're a very open book here at the coalition. We have nothing to hide. So if you'd like to go look at us, we are PAC ID 81130. If you'd like to check out all of our money being tossed around on our coalition website. So Go take a look at that if you are curious. Next on our list, so we just went over those, which is great. We got the boring stuff out of the way. I'm very happy to again announce that we have Ashley here, who will be taking over a new chapter that we have created. And after Ashley speaks and we introduce her, we will then go over our new bylaws for the coalition, as those have been tailored to accommodate rules and regulations for our chapters. So we didn't have a vote on it. Typically, if we were to take on a new chapter representative, we would hold a vote. But since we don't really have any established chapters, we're not going to do votes on chapter representatives unless like one leaves and there are like two people in that chapter who are members who kind of want who are like, yeah, I really want the position. We'll have a friendly vote like that. Or we may just end up appointing someone so it doesn't turn into like a huge like fight. Ashley, welcome. I know you said you had some noise going on in the background, but if you are here and want to introduce yourself, go right ahead. Oh, there you are.
Hey, Chris. Sorry,
Hey.
I got it. I was trying to hit the unmute, but every time I hit the button, it kept taking me to something else.
No, you're good.
Zoom's a little rearranged from the last time I used it. So hi everybody. My name is Ashley Sullivan. I've gotten to speak to some of you guys over Signal a little bit back and forth, but it's nice to actually speak to you. I'm actually working tonight, so I apologize for not being able to participate as much. We're in the process of opening a new, I live in Gloucester, as he mentioned, and we're in the process of opening a new marine electronics navigation storefronts. So I'm kind of in a rush because I'm way behind and we're like last minute working around the clock nonstop trying to get it done right now. On top of, our regular customer base. So I appreciate your understanding. I am so excited about the coalition. I'm going to kind of give you a brief explanation as to why. I am actually the former chair of the Gloucester Republican City Committee. I was a candidate for state rep, candidate for Republican State Committee. I was, endorsed by a lot of the RTCs. I don't want to say all because some of them didn't endorse, but a lot of the RTCs in our Senate district. And was, very much supported by the grassroots. We unfortunately had an incident in Gloucester where the establishment GOP felt very much threatened. Rumors had gone around that our state committee woman at the time was considering running for chair of the MAGOP. And she was well liked as well, very popular, actually ran Governor Deal's campaign. And she's my predecessor on the committee. They came to me first, tried to kind of complain about her. I wouldn't buy into it. And within several months, we had people show to our meetings and start to create chaos, try and take over through little bylaw actions. Eventually, they tried to, made a move to try and take over the committee. And the committee wouldn't have it. And, these people, came in and then were eventually unanimously voted back out, but continued to harass. And the GOP actually aided them in this. Not only aided them in it, but also helps them find a way to get back on the ballot, back on the committee, and back in to create chaos. So what happened, I stepped, nothing was getting accomplished. So they actually held an illegal meeting for leadership. I had stepped down at the time. And at that point, the committee, the active parts of the Gloucester Republican City Committee resigned. We went from a committee over one of the biggest in the state, and most active in the state, over 50 members, to just absolute devastation. And it's really sad because it's years and years of blood, sweat, and tears from not only myself, but many activists. So as a result, for the past year and a half, things have been just pretty much non-existent politically in Gloucester as far as the Republican side. the GOP has tried, but because of what happened, the illegal meeting, the way the committee handled, I mean, we filed formal state complaints with the state committee and everything. It was very much a political and strategic move. And so because of this, nothing was done. We don't have a majority in the state committee. They do. So it is what it is. There's nothing that can be done about it. And so nobody is participating as a result. And everybody resigned. And so, but people are looking for an outlet. If things are still happening, people still want to make a difference. We still live in a blue state. We're still outnumbered. So people are looking for an outlet in Gloucester. And so that's why the coalition seems to really be a good fit, is because, we have our own identity here. We're independent and separate and private. It's the right deals and the right beliefs. We don't have to worry about the game. Are people that just want to put their head down and make a difference. A lot of them are very active donors, volunteers. I relied on them throughout not only my campaign, but my years as RTC chair. We've participated in everything from ballot initiatives to, every candidate that's come through, we've supported. Local candidates, we run our own candidates, parades, sidewalk bazaars. We had we gave a scholarship, $1,000 scholarship yearly. So we're a very active bunch that basically had everything ripped out from underneath us. And so we're looking for a place to, navigate and throw that energy into and really make a difference. And I think helping grow the coalition is the way to do it. Dump that energy and my contacts and support and volunteers and everything into the coalition instead and help make a difference. I'd like us to show, the GOP that you can come together in Massachusetts around conservative ideals and make a difference and win our elections and lead by example in a positive way. So I think Chris is great, and I'm really glad to have met him, and I'm super glad to meet all of you, and excited to get to work and make a difference.
All right. Thank you, Ashley, for sharing. No, we do appreciate all the stories. And it's very important to hear from people about stuff that goes on all across the state. So, we're hoping to bring more people together and get away from stuff like that to where we are a private organization and we're just not going to get into the antics of, we're just not going to get into the mess of it. It's a waste of time. It doesn't get anything done. So I do appreciate you guys coming in and joining our coalition. There's so much more work to be done, and there's so many people all across the state. And we're hoping to get as many people together as we can to continue our message and to continue getting things done. There are a lot of similar stories like yours that are all across the state. So really what we're trying to do here is, take all the stuff and the knowledge that we know going forward, and we're going to continue to grow our group, like you said, get people together and really create a positive grassroots movement where we can all work together as one and we're not so divided. That's kind of the big issue we have, is there's a lot of division. There's one big group here, and then they get into this group, and then those people don't like each other. So now it's, at the end of the day, we have one big group of people who should all stand for the same things, and it ends up being 14 different groups. And at the end of the day, we don't need that. We all need to unify and come together. So, stuff like that is what we really need to do. And if there's ever a problem on our coalition, we're all going to talk like adults about it. We're not going to play into the drama and the infighting. That's been a huge issue within our wing of the country. We're so divided right now. And the last thing we need to do is to continue dividing and starting stuff that's just kind of gone on, for years and years and years, and it doesn't really do anything. People keep donating money to people who don't get anything done. So when people really put their money and time into something, we want to make sure, our movement is to make sure if they want to give us a donation, link down below, by the way, you want to know that your money is going towards a cause that's professional and that just sits down and gets stuff done. Because if you wouldn't show, and this is my opinion, if you wouldn't show what you're doing in politics to your employer, you're probably not doing it correctly. Politics is a dirty game, but the only thing we can do from here is to come together as adults, as working professionals, and people who want to run campaigns, get people elected. Trial and error is great. So I can't wait to go up there in a couple of weeks, and we'll talk to the full group of people and get everyone on board with this. So let's get that committee established. Let's continue to move forward and move towards the future of the conservative, traditional, Republican, whatever you want to call it, movement. And let's get some work done, guys. We will go over the bylaws real quick. So let me just grab those. For the updated bylaws, I did, not everyone, but, I've made a couple of changes. I've gotten opinions from people. So, again, chair, vice chair, secretary. Oh, I gotta add assistant to this. Oh, no, it's right there. Assistant secretary, treasurer, assistant treasurer. So, these are our bylaws. We have all of our, table of contents and just how to get to everything here. I'm going to keep the numbers here so it kind of looks like there's pages, but there isn't really pages on this. So the preamble, we the members of the New England Conservative can unite under God and committed to traditional conservative principles, just in New England. Through one unified political action committee, we support local town committees, conservative candidates, and civic participation rooted in faith, family, and constitutional government, organized by region and led by chapter representatives, and an executive grassroots conservative values through the Commonwealth of Mass Coalition to defend liberty, restore accountability, and uphold the God-given rights and enduring values that form the foundation of our nation. So that is what our new preamble was. It was a little bit different before. It was very tailored to one side or the other, but now we're just taking the real traditional conservative ideas that we all hold, and we're just kind of making it a little bit more nonpartisan. Obviously, we'll probably work with one side more than the other, but we don't want to close the door to anyone who has the right values that align with our organization at heart. Down here, nothing's really changed. We have the members, just defining what our members are. The regular members, that's going to be our voting members. We have our chapter representatives. We have the 8 areas to North Shore, South Shore, Cape and Islands, Boston Metro, Norfolk area, Worcester Central, Springfield, Western and Pittsfield Berkshires. The names might change over time. Some people have kind of, again, I'm not from Western Mass, so they said maybe like Pittsfield Western and Pittsfield Berkshires is kind of, we'll see what they prefer when the time comes to establish people in those areas. But as of right now, this is what I thought would be best. I know it's not really, the name's not really agreed upon, but again, we have that map that I sent out, which will be on the website eventually, of kind of like what everyone's territories are, so we can go over that another time. We have our common members, which is what the common members are going to be. It's not going to be anyone on the executive committee. It's not going to be our chapter representatives or their secretary and non-voting treasurer. We'll have regular members, which are just going to be regular average people who just come to meetings, help out and stuff. The way you become the member of the coalition, I have it as 6 months. So you need to be an active member of the coalition, go to the meetings, participate and help out. There's going to be actual standard here where if you want to become a common member officially, then there are going to be standards in place where you need to be active and attend, because we really, like, anyone can join, anyone can come, but for like official members who, will kind of, in a way, kind of represent the group of out voting, we want to make sure that they're, they're really committed and they have the best intentions at heart. The vacancies are pretty much the same. We did add in a section though, is if we haven't come, like for example, Gavin, we weren't really able to find a solid treasurer. Typically we would kind of vote somebody up, but where we don't have that many people as of right now to pick from, I just made the executive decision to just appoint Gavin to that position, because he deserves to be on this committee. That's why he's here. He's great. So Then we have the duties where all the expectations. Again, I'll pause here for a second. We have our regular members, our chapter reps. I don't have anything for the common members, which again, non-voting members. I could probably add something in there along the lines later on down the line. Again, we're private. It's not like we have to have this, it doesn't need to be perfect. We can update it anytime. There's no real, I have no regulations in here of how often we need to update this. We'll update it when it's appropriate. But we have a conflict of interest policy. So again, if you're like a Democrat in, let's say, Fall River, and you're running a Democrat campaign, but we're actively working to get a conservative in, they would, I don't want to say they'd be kicked off, but they're going to be, they're going to at least have to disclose of what they're doing before joining anything, because we may make that decision to, say it's not the best fit for them, depending on the circumstances, who they support, what they've done in the past. All of that stuff will be discussed privately and not in a public forum with people who show interest in our group. Our officers are defined, again, chair, vice chair, secretary, assistant treasurer. We do have elections. A lot of stuff is just appointments because, again, we don't want our organization to be infiltrated. We don't want people coming in trying to get into power just to tear it down. We're not going to allow that to happen. So we're all going to make these decisions, and if we can't come to one, then we're just going to find somebody and pick them in here. And again, we can obviously go over this in detail, but if there's nothing that's pointing out to anyone, we do have, this is the new section really, the chapter officers. Everything else has kind of been the same from before. So chapter representatives, they're going to serve as the chair of their regional chapter, who presides over the local meetings, and they represent the region represents the region at the state level. Okay, wait, sorry. For a second that didn't make sense in my head, but that makes sense now because at the state level would be like the executive committee. They may appoint a treasurer and a secretary for their chapter. Unless they appoint somebody who's like completely off the rails, then we may have to step in and figure out something different that may work best. But they do have a secretary and a treasurer, just like our committee. They don't have assistant or assistant treasurer because they're smaller. They're going to maintain the records. That's going to be meeting minutes. Any money that's collected, we'll figure out how we have to make that work in compliance with OCPF at one point. So we will go through that. They're going to coordinate communication between the chapters and the executive committee. So, for example, if something happens up in Gloucester, in that area that Ashley needs to tell me about, she's going to pick up the phone and call me. We already do that now, but this is more just have it written out of like what's going to go on. So everyone kind of has like their own position and their own role within the chapters, so we know exactly what they're going to be doing, and there's no miscommunication. Coalition meetings, that didn't really change. If we have an emergency meeting, we're going to try to give at least 48 hours notice, but we're all pretty good. Like, if we really, really need to have a meeting, we get it done. Like, this is not really an emergency meeting, but we did kind of do it like 2 weeks ago, so it wasn't like a huge notice. But we'll try to kind of follow this guideline. Like, if we're going to have a meeting, let's at least give, I don't know, do you think a 14-day notice, 2 weeks, is going to be better than one? What do you think, Aaliyah?
I'm reading it.
A week, like only a week's notice. Maybe we can do 2 weeks.
I think a week is okay.
For a meeting notice?
Maybe 2.
Okay, yeah, see, I know us so well. So
but like, we're not good at like jumping.
We are not good at that. I'm not good at that. Let's see. Chapter meetings. Chapter committee meetings. Each chapter must meet once per quarter. That's 4 times a year. We may switch to that model, but we kind of do what we want. We're kind of like a, You know, if we want to have a meeting, we'll have a meeting. If not, we don't really need one. But like right now, we really need this meeting because we have a chapter meeting in 2 weeks. So I want to make sure that we get this squared away. Quorum 50%. I'm gonna up that to 75%. I think they need to have more people there to make decisions, and that just protects our chapter representatives. So I think that would be pretty good. Ashley, what do you think of that? Maybe have like I'll make sure we have everyone there, or do you think we should ease up on that a little bit?
I try and have everybody there, I would think.
Yeah, but like let's say like yeah, I would say so to have everyone there.
75% though is high. So on our RTC, I think the quorum was like 15% or something, which is also extremely low.
Yeah. But we could do 60%.
Maybe meet down a little bit. Like, yeah.
Yeah, I feel like if it's too intense, people are gonna be like not too happy with that. Like, oh, I had something to do. You know, people work.
Well, once you get to a certain point, you get enough people that you like, and you get big enough that requires a large number of people, and then at that point you're like, okay, but you can also redo the bylaws between now and that point, obviously, so it's not like you're blocked in forever either.
Yeah, definitely. I think that's good too. I think for now, this part of the meeting, I guess you could say, is like emergency, where when we go up to your area, oh yeah, we're going to have all these rules in place. Okay, what are the rules? Oh, well, we don't have them yet. So it's good that we kind of have a rule book, but we'll tell them like, hey, this is how it is right now, but it could change. Because you're the first. We didn't really.
Sure that there is no way that anyone can play the game, can come in and the whole power struggle all over again. That's all that we need.
Well, that's not going to happen because people are going to have to be active and attending meetings for a minimum of 6 months. But if we decide that they're not a right fit for the group, we're just going to tell them no. We're private. We don't have to follow all of the stupid arbitrary rules that are put in place. So it's a lot of people may not agree with that, but if you want something effective, you need to be a little bit more authoritative.
When you've got people that are, excuse me, about hell bent on creating drama and causing problems.
Exactly,
and they become more of a detriment than a liability than they do an asset. So yeah. I understand.
And this is coming from experience with you. I know so it's definitely good to lay on the side of caution.
That's all it is.
Just better be safe than sorry. We don't have to worry, but just to have something in place so if someone wants to look at it and reference it. Our bylaws aren't crazy. We don't have like all the crazy like stuff in there. It's basically just basic rules to follow. It's nothing insane. Basic rules of conduct. This is a new section that I added in. Code of conduct, rules of conduct. All NECC members are expected to uphold the highest standards of professionalism and discipline. The following conduct policies. Members must treat one another with respect and integrity, both online and in person. And again, I'm guilty of some of this too. I'm not like saying this is holier than thou. We've all broken one of these here or there. It's not a big deal, but we just need to make sure that we uphold our own values and standards. And this is why we've had a lot of changes. We've changed things around. We've expanded in different ways because we really want to make sure our group practices what they preach. Gossip, drama, slander, fictionalism, or any destructive behavior is strictly prohibited. Members may not post or share coalition matters without authorization. That means if I send Ashley the agenda and I'm like, keep it private, keep it private. It's not that, it's nothing crazy. We don't, if it's like, oh, this is a draft. I typed it up in like 2 seconds. There's a bunch of spelling mistakes. Okay, don't post that. I just want you to get a general idea. But eventually we will, when we make these types of meetings more public and open to the public, then we'll post our agenda. if we're doing chapter meetings and there's an agenda, we're going to make those agendas open to the public because we want people to read those. Now, the meetings, we want to make sure anyone can come, but obviously if they're there to start issues, then it's like, okay, we're going to, this isn't the right group for you. We're going to kindly and respectfully ask you to not attend our meetings. So, we'll still work this out. We want to be open as much as possible, but we just have to be cautious with people. That's all. That's just how life is in general. No members of the NECC may misrepresent, view, or attack leadership on public forums. Now, obviously, if I'm doing something wrong, or let's say I stole $20, right? Just an example. I'm not saying, if Aaliyah calls me out on that, I want her to call me out on that. What I mean by this is no just random attacks, because you don't like somebody. Let's all be respectful. If you have a problem with somebody, go and talk to them like an adult. Don't tarnish them online unless they're a crazy public figure. Like Maura Healey. Okay, we all don't like Maura Healey. Or, we at least have things we like and dislike. Most of us don't like her. Sorry, Maura Healey, if you're watching this. I highly doubt it. You're probably up in your Boston skyrise apartment. You don't give a crap what I'm saying down here on the ground, okay? So I'm funny, all right? Comedy's after this. So yeah, that's basically it. And then we have a zero tolerance policy. Any member, regular member, chapter, or executive who engages in drama disruption may be removed from meetings, banned from communication platforms, or expelled at the discretion of the chair and executive committee. What I mean by that, let's say Joe Schmo from Fall River is I don't know. Let's say he says let's say he comes to a meeting and starts swearing and cursing. Okay, he's going to be asked to leave. That's what that means. Let's say, I start yelling at Aaliyah or getting mad. Y'all can remove me from the meeting. You know what I mean? Calm down. Be an adult. No drama, no bullcrap. We've definitely had our scuffles in the past. I'm not going to pretend like we're perfect. We've had people, go after us, attack us, whatever. We're over it. All of us as Christians forgive and move on and pray for our enemies, that they live by God's commandments. And that's enough of me preaching, because I'm not a preacher. I shouldn't be a preacher, okay? I preach enough as it is. So that's really it for that. I'm going to motion to accept our finalized bylaws. What does everyone think about our bylaws? All in favor say aye.
Aye.
Aye. Thank you. And we're gonna, you guys can't see this, but I'm going to update this draft. And this was established. What's today's date?
August 6th.
Thank you. Wait, August 6th?
Yeah.
Wait, August? Oh wait, no, we're...
Yeah, August. Chris.
Oh, sorry. Okay. No, I'm all over the place. I'm thinking... You said the 7th? The 6th. We're okay. We're fine. I'm okay. If I get senile, you can vote me out if I become like Joe Biden.
You know what, Chris? I'm calling you out here and now.
You're banned. You're banned. Get out. Okay, and I think that's great. We established our bylaws. That's awesome. I do have something on here. We're not going to discuss it publicly. This will be more private. Eventually, we're going to go to Cape Cod, the Plymouth area. We're going to try to recruit somebody to start a chapter down there. I would like to do that in November and then have them established in December. We'll see if that works. Let's see how... Let's get, Gloucester established. I keep saying Gloucester. Let's get the North Shore area established before we get too far ahead and we build too quickly, because then it becomes hard to manage. So we'll see how it goes up in Gloucester. If we need more time to refine that chapter and make sure that that's perfect before we start going and, putting them all over the state, we'll make sure that this goes well. but I know it's going to go great. Ashley's great. We got a great group up there. I've spoken to a couple of them just on Facebook. They seem like a lovely bunch of people. So very excited to go up there. I know, if anything changes, I'm not putting you on the spot. Like, oh, you're totally going, right? I believe Aaliyah and Gavin, you're both going to come up on the 20th, correct?
Yeah.
Awesome. Okay. Does anyone else have any old business, new business, anything they need to bring up? Again, we don't want to. Let's not get off topic. We don't want to bring up anything too crazy. But if there's anything in particular anyone wants to bring up real quick about the organization, please do so now. Nothing. Anything. You know what? I will give a shout out to the Unity Coalition. If anyone has heard of them, the Unity Coalition is they're not a political action committee. I believe they're a nonprofit, Nina. You can correct me after. If you look up the New England Conservative Coalition, we have all of our information. But if you scroll down a little bit more past all the stuff that we have Google Taylor and put up for us, the Unity Coalition has actually recommended us for people who want to start town committees or run for office in this area. So thank you to them. They are a great group. Go check out the Unity Coalition. And, we thank them for the support.
Let me correct you, Chris.
You got it.
I think the Unity Coalition changed name as the, Chris, can you
Yep.
hear me?
Yep, you cut out for a second. I can check real quick.
I am the Unity Coalition with Patrick Clare changed the name. It's the American Reformers League.
Oh, okay. So let's
And
hit
then
the.
there's another coalition that is the Massachusetts Unity Coalition that Smetsky, it's name, it's the chair. So there are two different organizations, but Patrick, like maybe 2 months ago or more, maybe 3, he changed, and now it's the American Reformers League.
Okay, American Reformers.
Can you hear me?
Yes, we can hear you. I'm just looking them up right now.
And then he makes he's running for council in his town of Medford.
In the town of Medford? Okay.
Yeah, and then he's also making meetings. I'm sorry, once a month. I think it's this week. I think it's today is what? Wednesday? Tuesday?
Yeah.
I think tomorrow is his meeting. I have to check the meeting because I am traveling, so I am too disconnected from the reality. And then
Yeah, me too.
Honestly, and then other thing, in my town in Marapoiset, we have been collecting too much signatures, a good amount for a petition to not increase the amount of select boards. The opposition that are the Democrats from the town wanted to increase 2 more seats.
That's Mattapoisett?
Because they want to control, they want to control everything. So, Paul Criscolo, who is the chair of the Mattapoisett GOP, and that I am the communication manager, he is not politicizing this kind of petition because I think it matters to all the town. We have to reduce the spending. If we have 2 more select boards, it will be more spending for the town. So some of the opposition are on board with us, are signing the petition. So that's a good thing. Also, the wanderer that is the magazine, the local magazine, on board with us because of July 4th. No, I think was not July 4th. I think was a event that we had in Mattapoisett. They put Paul Criscuolo in the front page of the magazine.
Mm-hmm.
So that means a lot. And I think that some of the people that are the opposition are getting on board with us. So I think that eventually
They'll
maybe
flip.
we will start having more independents that will be supporting more the Republican Party. But we are not politicizing in this case.
Awesome.
We are doing it more a concern about the town spending, not a political issue. But the Democrats are putting efforts to make it to politicize the situation. So in that is what we are working right now. I have been very disconnected from politics, honestly, and I don't think I will try to run for Senate for the second Bristol and Plymouth. Unfortunately, I don't feel the support that I should.
Mm-hmm.
I think, like you say, it's too divided. We have to unify. We have to be a
what will be best,
community
Nina?
that support each other.
What will be best too? Of course, the coalition will always focus on candidates. It's a very good
Yes.
thing. But one of the
Yes.
things I want to say, about that
Yes.
is we are not going
Yes.
to win in Massachusetts. If we get another Republican voted in as governor, it's not going to be a good governor candidate. It's just going to be the typical establishment we get. What we really need to do is build our grassroots on the ground. Be like, this is why this matters. So we're definitely going to help candidates,
Yes.
but our number one
Yes.
priority right now
Yes.
is organizing people, because we're not organized.
Yes.
We're not unified with good, real conservatives.
No, we are all over the place.
Exactly.
Yes.
So we
Yes,
are,
I agree 100%.
but we can definitely talk about that a little bit after. Again, I try to
Yes,
take
yes,
stuff.
Sure.
We'll definitely
But
talk about
I
that
agree
after.
100% with the topic, and I agree with you that, and it's something that you bring up
Mhm.
at the beginning of the meeting. Yes, we need to make the conservative movement more stronger, but we need to work together. We have to team up and keep moving on and moving forward to make this movement stronger. And I agree 100% with you.
Give me 1 second. Sorry about that. When my TV idles too long, it starts to randomly play music. So I just pulled the cord out of it because I just didn't want to deal with messing around with that. So, but that's awesome. We can definitely talk about that more offline. I am going to make a motion, though, to adjourn our meeting. And we can talk more offline about that. So, motion to adjourn.
I second.
All in favor,
Okay.
say aye. Aye.
I
All right, thank you. And again, the meeting up in Gloucester is going to be August 20th of this month in August. So if anyone wants to attend that meeting, go to our Facebook page and look at the event, or go onto the New England Conservative Coalition.com website, and you can find more information like that. Make sure you like and subscribe to our YouTube channel, and if you feel generous, donate down below. Thank you for all your support, everyone, and have a great day. Thank you.